Happy New Year. Happy 2024.
Ooh, baby.
Live bold and boss up. Welcome back. Another year, another you.
Yeah.
Yeah. New you. Jinx.
New year, new you. Or better. Just same you, just better.
Yeah.
Right?
Different. Everyone's different after a whole year.
We've all grown. We've all hopefully achieved our goals from last year.
Oh,
Well, most of them.
I know. That was a tough year.
How did you do on your goals from last year? I know we made every year we make vision boards. Actually, we did an episode on vision board a couple years ago.
We did.
So every year we do them. And if you do a vision board and you put it out in front of you, you're supposed to be more inclined to achieve your goals.
Right.
If you're looking at them every
day.
day. So how did you do, Ash?
I think I did pretty decently. There were definitely a couple that I didn't hit. There were some that I had on my vision board and I got maybe halfway or not even halfway to it.
Any that you want to share?
Gosh, I feel like that's really personal, but here we go. So
it's just
me
and
a
a
few
few
thousand
friends.
It's fine.
Closest
It's fine.
Closest friends.
It's fine. Here we go, guys. I'm going to get vulnerable. So on my vision board for 2023, I had a GP, like monetary amount that I wanted to bring into the business. And I did not do that. I did half.
2023 was a tough year.
It was a tough year in our industry.
In our industry and for a lot of companies.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of those years coming after COVID where our industry did do really well. A lot of people were finding new jobs. And then 2023, that kind of slowed down. So I can totally understand that. And some of that I feel like is out of our control. So I think I get that one.
Yeah.
I think that was the same for a lot of us.
I think maybe it's important to share that with everyone, though, because sometimes you put things on there and it doesn't work out, and that's okay. You just put it back on for next year, you know, and celebrate the other wins.
Right.
You know?
What were some of the wins that you had?
Continuing the podcast, which we've done successfully.
Yes.
And we love, and we've got so much great feedback this past year, so that was a great win. Reading books. I think I finished like a couple books last year that I didn't anticipate on finishing. And
This was a big book year for me.
Really?
Yes.
How many books did you read?
Well, not as many as some people, because I have some friends that posted they read like 50 books this year. And
What?
I'm like, I was proud of my 15.
Yeah.
Which one of them, I finished my book from the Atlas Shrugged book from last year, which was took me a long time. And so then after that, I was just kind of eager to read like more like easy books.
Yeah.
Like just where I didn't have to think so much. So I read a lot of fun books. I also read a lot of nonfiction, or a few nonfiction books. And actually the book I'm reading now, which I want to tell you all about, because it has a lot to do with my goals for 2024, is Atomic Habits.
Oh, yes.
Which by James Clear, which I'm sure a lot of you have read. It's an amazing book. I'm about halfway through right now. And
Is it good?
It's life-changing.
It's important to read it.
It's very good.
Okay. I'm in the middle of, well, I just started Becoming Supernatural.
Oh, I have that.
You have it? Did you read it yet?
I started it.
Okay. I've started it too, and it's right now I'm in the beginning stages where it's kind of telling you like what happens like when you meditate. So I have sneak peek, or spoiler alert, I have like meditation on my 2024, because it's really hard to meditate the way they were trying to get you to meditate in this book. So I thought that was really interesting, but I have Atomic Habits.
You have it.
I need to read it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put that next on your list.
Okay.
So one of mine for last year was to read more, which I did. And actually I want to read more this year than I did last year. So that's another goal of mine. I'm trying to think of what I had on my list maybe last year that I did not achieve. What did I put on there? I don't know. I feel like they're all kind of the same. Like be healthier and fitter. And
how do you measure that?
Exactly. So this is what I was trying to do different this year, because you can set all these goals and resolutions, but how do you measure it? How do you, the way to get there is by actually changing the process of getting there, not, not by setting this big goal and then not knowing how to get there.
Okay.
So in this book, the Atomic Habits book, it talks about just creating habits. And it's just like daily habits that you're creating. And just like little by little, you won't see a change, daily or weekly or monthly. But by the end of the year, that's whenever you see the big change.
Wow.
So it's by setting habits.
So, for example, I'm totally assuming here, so tell me if I'm wrong because you're reading the book, but if you want to get fit or work out more, instead of just saying like, I need a bodybuilder's body, like every day you're like, okay, work out for 10 minutes.
Yes. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. So do weights, or you can even do weekly, like do weights 3 times a week. So that, what does that mean? It means setting your alarm to get up first thing in the morning and doing weights and setting those daily goals. Like you're going to work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or whatever the days are, and then do cardio 3 days a week. But you have to set those habits so that way after a couple months you created this habit now of working out and doing weights, and that's how you achieve your get toned, be healthy body that you're trying to achieve. Or if it's say eat more or say it's be healthier,
right,
is your like resolution,
which is so hard to,
it's very vague,
measure
right.
And right.
But instead make your habits of eat 3 fruits a day, eat 3 vegetables a day. So you're actually setting daily activities for you to do.
I love that.
Yeah, so
that's so
that's
smart.
what I'm learning right now. So that's part of my resolutions, is to actually make habits, not goals.
Oh, I want to see your vision board then.
I mean,
did you make it?
I did. I'll show it to you after.
Okay.
So, yeah, I feel like 2023 is out. It's gone.
Bye.
2024 is here. New you, new year. Maybe new career. Maybe that's one of your goals for the year. But how are you going to do that? What are the steps that you're going to do to take that?
Yeah. How do you create a new career in a new year? What do you need to do? I think it starts with self-reflection.
I agree.
You need to think about that last year. Don't dwell on it. Just think about it. Think about where you want to be for this year.
What didn't you like? What did you like?
Write
it down.
What are your new interests? What are your values? What are your passions? So I feel like so many people have made careers based on their passions.
Yeah, which is great. And then you love what you do, and it doesn't feel like work.
Right.
And then you're going to be more successful at it.
Right.
Because you're loving what you do. Yeah, so I think that's a good one, self-reflection, really thinking about what you want to do this year.
Think about, too, if you're in a job now or a career now, make a list of what you like about it and what you don't like about it. So this way you know what to maybe avoid or what to stick with.
Yeah, that's good. And if there's certain things that you love but you're not sure how to maybe implement that in a new career or even in a new hobby, do a little bit of research online and what are some things out there? What are some groups that you can get into? What are some careers out there that may involve, your passion? How do you get into it? It takes a little bit of research as well.
Right. And I don't think your career needs to include every single passion and skill set that you have.
That's what hobbies are for, too.
Right. So you can have hobbies with your career and get that fulfillment, right, in multiple places. Right. Yeah, so research.
Yeah, do your research. I recommend always writing them down or creating a vision board. I think it's important to do both, actually. Create a vision board, but then also write your clear goals and your habits down that you want to implement and start taking the steps to do. Right. So set those clear goals or habits.
Yeah.
Processes.
How would you set them? Would you put them on your calendar, or do you just write them down on a piece of paper? I guess it would be your style.
Yeah, I think it's your style, but I think it starts with writing them down on a piece of paper, and then if you're the type of person that likes looking at a calendar and seeing it out there, then put it on your calendar.
okay, side note, the Atomic Habits piece, right? And writing little notes and stuff, or writing
steps,
habits, right? Habits.
Daily. Mm-hmm.
I accidentally have started that for like budgeting, because I feel like, everyone wants to save money, right? And you have to budget, and then nobody does it. You do it for like a month or two, and then that's it.
Oh, not even. You do it for like a day.
Like a day, and then you're like, shoot, I really want those shoes. But what I did was I went to Publix and I went shopping for the fam, and whatever the total amount was, I wasn't picky on what I picked out, but I wasn't picking like junk food and stuff like that. Whatever the total was, I opened up like a notes tab in my phone and wrote like grocery list prices or whatever. So I'm like, January 7th, this is what I spent. And so every time I go to the grocery store now, I'm going to mark that down just to kind of analyze and see, like, what do I spend?
Mm-hmm. That's a good idea.
And see, yeah.
You know what's a good challenge? And I was going to challenge myself in January, but I need to set more realistic goals. Okay. Is what I've realized. Because a month is not realistic for me right now. But not buying anything on Amazon for this period of time.
Okay.
Because it's so easy. It's just like you have everything at the tip of your fingertips. Just to go on there, I need this, and just dip.
Right.
And then it arrives the next day. So I was going to challenge myself not to buy anything on Amazon, maybe for a month. I don't think that's realistic for me right now.
Right.
But maybe a week.
Right.
Maybe I start with a week.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe you could make it a goal where you don't buy anything unnecessary.
Right.
Like if the kids need something for their class or school, that's necessary. It makes it easier for you. You don't have to go out to the store. Or if you guys need something, like a...
Right. Household items.
Right.
Like soap or toothpaste or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe that would make it more palatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh.
I'm going to try to do that.
So set goals.
Set goals. Mm-hmm. Not just, the big goals, but the daily goals.
Right.
More of the easy to achieve goals, because those are the steps to get to the big goals.
Right. Yeah. And when it has to do with your career, write down very specifically where you want to be. Mm-hmm. What's your goal? Do you have that? Maybe you don't, and that's okay.
Maybe a good example would be if a really daunting task is creating a resume. If you haven't updated it, or if you haven't made one before, it can be very daunting. Mm-hmm. And it is hanging over your head for days or weeks or months. Like, I have to create my resume. I have to do that. I have to update it. Maybe set a goal each day. You're going to update one section of it, or just write down some bullet points of what you do daily. Mm-hmm. Just little by little, something that's more easy to digest and that doesn't seem so daunting. Just do a little bit every day. And then maybe by the end of the week, you're done with your resume.
That's a great idea. Like, okay, today I'm going to start with this piece of it.
Right.
Yeah. I like that. That's a great idea. I feel like a lot of our friends and colleagues don't have a resume anymore because they've just gotten their job based on
who they know.
Right. Yeah. Who they know. And that can be a detriment too. Like, you should always have that ready
just
to go.
Have a resume in your back pocket, just a basic one, and then you always are going to need to tweak it, but at least it won't be so, like, if you're in an urgent situation, now you have to create this resume from scratch.
And that takes up a lot of time.
It takes up a lot of time and stress. So just have one that you create over, maybe a week or so, build up to it, and then you can tweak it as needed.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't know your long-term goals, like where you want to be in 10 years or 5 years, maybe know where you want to be in a year or 2 or 3.
Or by June.
Yeah, just know a little bit of that, because that'll help you find the right, like, culture company too.
Right.
There's a lot of companies, they don't have that advancement that quickly, or maybe they do, so that would help you out. Oh my gosh, I just did a thumbs up, and I don't know how I did that.
Why?
I did something, and then it popped, like, with a thumbs up in the bubble.
Oh.
This new technology, I don't even know how to work it. I just did
That's
something
funny.
with my hands, and it, like, popped up.
So that emoji thing.
It did, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I was like, what do you mean you don't know how you did that?
You just stick your thumb up.
That also goes for a LinkedIn profile. Little by little, you can create it, update it, all that kind of stuff. Also, this reminds me, actually, one of my goals for us, for the podcast, is to get a TikTok. I've been talking about this.
To get a TikTok.
I know, I sound really old right now.
You sound super hip.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yes, to get a TikTok. But we've been talking about it. We have, actually, I think we started one and then just didn't post to it.
Right.
But that's one of my goals. And we just need to do it.
Right. That's one of my goals is I'll get on social media for work.
Right.
But I don't want to get on there and just start scrolling.
Yes. Then you get,
It sucks up my time.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then it also makes my brain mushy and I'm not even motivated to do anything else. Does that happen to you guys?
Yeah.
Like,
no, absolutely.
I just...
in this book, it also talks about breaking habits, which could be a goal to break a certain habit, like scrolling, because that is not productive time.
Right.
And say you want to be more productive at work, maybe one of your goals is to stop scrolling so much. So that could actually be a goal, is to break a habit, not just make a habit.
I was literally just talking about this the other hour, how I don't want to scroll. I don't want to pick up my phone and just aimlessly go to Instagram.
Right.
Yeah.
I think last year or the year before, I created time limits for me.
Yeah.
Like
Did it
30
work? Because you can just punch in your number and go back right to it.
It does help me be like, okay, like I've already been on for 30 minutes today. Like it just kind of tells you.
Right.
And in your mind, you're like, okay, it's been enough time.
Right.
Yeah. So that's always a good step.
That you're right. And then you realize, oh my God, I've been on here for 30 minutes.
Otherwise, time goes by so fast when you're scrolling.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, it's been 3 hours. And what have you done?
Everybody does that. Everybody's guilty of that, for sure.
You get sucked in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So goals, resume, even brushing up on skills maybe that you need to do, that can also be a daunting task. You don't know where to start sometimes. It goes back to just looking on like whatever you want to do, whatever your goals, once you write them down, what they are, what are the steps to get there, and maybe brushing up on some rusty skills that you have, or a certification. Starts by applying for that certification or for that job or for whatever. Baby steps to get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you need to do in order to achieve those long-term goals?
Yeah, that's definitely a must. I think that shows well for the hiring leader. Like if you're going to courses to get certified, even though you don't have that certification yet, that's still
shows progress.
It shows progress. It shows what you've been doing to get to this spot.
Right.
Networking, making sure you maybe have like a mentor maybe who is already in that space. Or
that's a good point. And if you're one of the type of people that hate networking, maybe you're an introvert and that's an uncomfortable situation for you, starting off small, get a friend to go with you to a networking event. Or I think that's probably the main thing, is have a friend go with you.
Right.
And start off with something maybe that's not so intimidating. Maybe it's a happy hour rather than like a meet and greet or something like that.
Right.
Like there's no pressure. You just have to show up. You can stay for 15 minutes if that's all you can muster up for your first time. But it starts with just going to begin with.
Right. Once you get there, hopefully.
Yeah, then you'll be having fun.
Right. Right. I like that. Seek guidance. I guess that's kind of the same thing as like getting a mentor. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think your mentor should be someone who, number one, that maybe has been in your shoes before, or if not, can give you good advice and that you can ask questions to, and can steer you in the right direction. You need to find a right mentor that's gonna, be positive, be uplifting, be encouraging, rather than someone who's negative or has never been in your shoes before.
Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely.
Yeah. Now these are all good ones. I feel like that's a lot to start off with.
I know.
But by taking little steps, you can hopefully achieve your goals in resolutions in 2024, whatever they may be. If you don't set resolutions, start making those habits, start forming those processes to help you get to where you want to be at the end of this year or halfway.
What did you put on your 2024 vision board?
To make my bed every day.
Really? Is that from that
book.
one speech?
Make your bed.
Oh, is that a book?
Actually, it is a book.
Oh.
And I can't tell you who wrote it right now. It's also, they talk about it in the Habits book. One of my goals is to be more organized. And that's just one step of feeling more organized, more, getting your day started right. And getting your mindset right as far as that goes. Another one is to be on time, to arrive early. Yeah. I'm one of those people who are habitually late, and no matter where I'm going, time management is not my best quality, which is fine. We all have ours.
Fine.
I know I'm not the only one.
Yeah. There's so many times where you're like, oh, I have 5 minutes to get on this call. I can send this email.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you're like 2 minutes after the hour.
Yeah.
It happens.
To be more aware of that, leaving earlier for work, taking those steps to get there. Not say so much.
Ooh.
Not say yeah, just.
Do you have any pictures on this vision board?
I do.
Oh.
I mean, not with me, but
right.
I can show you. Yeah, maybe we should let's do a post. Let's show our vision boards.
Okay.
Our listeners can hold us accountable.
Oh, great. Fantastic.
And we would love to see yours too.
Yes.
If you have a vision board, we have our liveboldandbossup@gmail.com email address.
Oh my
you
God,
can
that'd be
send
so
it
fun.
to.
I would love that.
I would love to see it. And as always, like, rate, subscribe. We love to hear your feedback. What do you want to hear this year? What do you want us to do different? What would you like to hear more of?
What's your goals for listening to a podcast? What do you want to hear?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And until next time,
live bold and boss up, guys.